Folks, welcome and thanks for joining us here on LNTV Liberia Live. My name is Antonio Williams, and earlier this morning we arrived here at the Executive Mansion at the Tea House, precisely where President Boakai holds cabinet meetings with members of his cabinet through the office of the cabinet. And just right ahead of us here, we've seen the Director General of the cabinet, Director General Nathaniel Kwabo. He heads the cabinet. I also do see ahead of me there the Minister of Information, Minister Jeremy Matthew Pierre. So today's cabinet meeting, among several issues, was mainly focused on the issue of drug and substance abuse, and also two government institutions did present: the Ministry of Health, as it relates to the most recent document presented to His Excellency the President Boakai, speaking about the National Health Insurance Fund, was presented to His Excellency the President. So the Minister of Health was here to present, and also as it relates to the issue of drug and substance abuse, we did have the LDA boss, the Liberia Drug Enforcement Agency boss, presenting also to the cabinet. So the meeting appears that the meeting has just ended. It's just 8 minutes past 4 p.m. here in Liberia, and we're now seeing officials of government making their way out. The president is yet to make his way out, by the way. So, but just right out here at the tea house of the Executive Mansion, we're seeing officials of government who are making their way out. Some of them are already making their way to their vehicles. I'm seeing the Minister of Agriculture, Honorable Nuta, making his way out. But let's see if we can talk to the Director General of the Cabinet, Director General Nathaniel Kwabo.
Because of the sun reflection. Okay. So,
so folks, we are awaiting the president to once the president makes his way out. Let's see, once the president makes his way out, we'll be talking to the Director General of the Cabinet. He has agreed to talk to us already. He's just right on the standby, but the president is just having a brief conversation with officials of government. I'm seeing him talking to the Mines and Energy Minister, Honorable Tingbe. So once the president leaves, we will try our best to talk to the Director General of the Cabinet, Director General Nathaniel Kwabo, who will be updating us on some of the discussions that were held in there as it relates to today's cabinet meeting that was held. But before that, there are several issues that were discussed. In fact, several issues that the president himself mentioned. And if we just run it through, the president did provide highlights on the energy sector. President Boakai highlighted energy investment, disaster preparedness, and climate resilience also at the cabinet meeting here, where the president praised the ongoing investment in Liberia's energy sector, calling for stronger national preparedness to address the growing threat of climate-related disasters. And also, the president also did speak about the public sector pay reform, that's Public Service Review Committee that, according to him, is being set up. And he also did push for health insurance and the expansion of the GFK. So, but as the president is making his way now back to his office after this very crucial cabinet meeting and being escorted by officials of government. Sure, that's the Minister of Information, yeah, sure. So let's see, now that the president has left, let's see if we can now talk to the Director General of the Cabinet.
Today is the 22nd cabinet meeting with the president. We want you to bring us up to speed as things that was discussed in there, sir.
As you know, the focus of this cabinet meeting was on the drug situation in the country, especially in light of recent developments. And you know, in 2024, during the president's first annual message, it was clear about the drug question that we inherited a situation that we needed to address, so to speak, exercise the ghost. And he said it would be a national emergency and also a national security threat. And he stuck by his word, you know, and set up this sectorial committee to address the drug question. And so today was a meeting for the committee comprising many agencies, including the Ministry of Health, and the Liberia Drug Enforcement Agency to update and brief the cabinet about progress and some of the challenges, that they face in addressing the drug question. But I must say, the presentation was very well. The president was particularly pleased with the work that was done that has been done by the committee. And even though he said there's a lot more to be done, but much so far has been done that a lot of people in the public, don't know about. At the end of the day, there were resolutions that the Ministry of Health, asked Cabinet to endorse. I will speak about those later on. In addition to that, remember 3 weeks ago or 4 weeks ago, at a Cabinet meeting on mining, we were clear about studying the situation involving host communities of mining concession, post those concessions, and what we needed to do to address communities that had mining concessions which have been closed. In addition to that, it was important for us to also look at the whole mining regime and see how we can come up with those protective regimes for mining communities that are experiencing concession at this time. So those were the two major discussions that we had. And of course, the Executive Director of the Liberia People RC came in regarding the situation in South Africa. According to him, they've made arrangements to repatriate some Liberians who are willing to come back, in the wake of these attacks in South Africa.
So now, before my colleague comes in, we saw the LTA boss in there. Wasn't giving any question by the president to explain on anything that can you bring us up to that side?
No, the LTA and the Ministry of Health are all part of the multi-sectorial committee, and they presented one after the other. The demand side and the supply side, as I said. If you know what that means, drugs coming to the country, and also drugs being consumed by Liberian youth who need to be rehabilitated.
My name is Anthony Williams, Director. I work for the Liberia Broadcasting System, ELBC, and LNTV. As the head of the Cabinet, Director General of the Cabinet, earlier Mr. President did call on the Cabinet to take a firm stand on this particular drug and substance abuse issue. Did we take a firm stand as mandated by the President today?
Absolutely. So, for example, there were two proposed resolutions. One on the institutionalization of the multi-sectorial committee through legislation to ensure structural permanence and sustainability. In other words, we want this committee to be permanent. Government comes, government goes, and that was endorsed by the Cabinet. In addition to that, the Cabinet also endorsed the establishment of the National Drug Rehabilitation Fund to facilitate targeted resource mobilization in the fight against drugs and substance abuse. The Cabinet endorsed that. Okay, in addition to that, on the drug question, the Cabinet also endorsed the LAA board resolution to suspend GLS contracts pending investigation. So that is one of the things that came out of the Cabinet in light of this whole drug case. But the Cabinet went beyond that, okay, to direct the LAA to conduct physical inspection of all cargo at the airport. Because before it was just done, not the whole of the cargo, it was done in a way that, it would here and there, but in this case, we are saying that there should be complete check of all cargo. So those were the four resolutions that were endorsed by the Cabinet on the drug question.
The Ministry of Justice and other agencies are already carrying out an investigation into this particular matter. These resolutions that were met today, how do they align with the already ongoing investigation of the 19 million process?
The President was clear. I think the public should be patient. This investigation is being done professionally, okay? So we have to be patient. Those who are involved in this are professionals who have the expertise and the technical capacity to do this work, and they are taking their own time to do that. It is called less speed but more haste, so to speak. So at the right time, the public will be subsequently informed about decisions regarding this situation.
Okay.
Thank you.
But
Yes.
more than that, there were other
Because because I wanted to come up with other
I'm
questions.
coming. There was other resolutions that were passed, endorsed. So, for example, in addition to what the Ministry of Health had proposed, the Cabinet agreed to establish a national anti-drug task force that be more action-oriented. Okay, and in light of the presentation by the Ministry of Mines, okay, Cabinet has also endorsed the establishment of a mine closure Cabinet also endorsed the National Post-Mining Community Transition Strategy, which is, to make sure that we protect mine communities, host communities, both during the concession and also post-concession.
Yeah, so the thing about it, so African community, through the means of what is happening now, not so African model of Liberia, that's come from South Africa. So how many number in total of the company?
Well, initially, the number was over 200, I understand, but it has been scaled down to 29, but up to this point, 21, because they have to come voluntarily, we can't hold them out. Okay, so from now, according to the Executive Director, 21 will be brought back to the country very soon. And the Ministry of Finance is working. The Ministry of Finance is working with the Executive Council to ensure that.
DG, the president also did speak about the Public Service Committee to look into compensation for folks working in the public sector. What resolutions were made? Were there anything spoken about? Were there any decisions made as per what the president mentioned? I overheard there is a committee that's expected to be set up to ensure public servants can be duly compensated for working and serving their country.
Absolutely, and that has been the president's position from day one. As you've heard, a committee was established, headed by the CSA, and they are looking at reviewing the whole compensation package, of public servants.
Do we see increment in salaries in other areas?
Absolutely, that's what is on the president's mind. Yes.
Yeah, Gigi, we are concerned of all these people that will be coming back to the country. Is the government ready to lodge this report?
Well, these are people who travel from their country back to Liberia. I'm sure they have family members here, but of course there are protocols in place, to receive them, and to integrate them back into society.
Okay. Thank you very much, sir. Folks, that was the Director General of the Cabinet, Director General Nathaniel Kwabo, talking to us here about the cabinet meeting that was just held and bringing up some of the discussions that were held and some of the issues that were discussed briefly in the cabinet meeting just right here at the executive mansion. So for those of you who followed and listened and watched, I'd like to thank you for watching and following. My name is Anthony Williams. Several questions we asked him, by the way, just to bring you up to speed. We asked him about the Public Service Committee that's expected to be set up. According to him, it has been an agreement has been reached for this committee to be set up. It will be set up where public servants can be duly compensated for serving their country. So this is going to be like an entire review process, looking into salary increment and other benefits that public servants actually deserve for serving their country. Now, he did speak about the drug issue, the drug case that's been talked about, and also the airport authority will now have to do physical verification and even do more other than the way the actual process has been as it relates to looking at cargo. He also did mention GLL's contract being terminated. An agreement has been reached among some of the decisions that have been made in the cabinet meeting. And so more details about this will come up in stories that we will post eventually any moment from now. But follow us on our page. My name is Anthony Williams, and I'd like to thank you for watching. Bye bye for now from the Executive Mansion.